What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Oh, it's about 5:30 a.m. Sitting here quite a ways east of Sulphur Springs where I picked up. I didn't make it too far yesterday because of the weather, and I shut down. Getting ready to take off. I think I'm going to wait till the sun starts to come up. I usually leave early, but with the weather the way it is, I want more visibility before I take off. Headed up towards Chicago to get back in the lane for my dedicated stuff. I probably got about 800 miles to go, and it's going to take me a couple of full days probably with this weather. If I can get a little bit further north where they actually take care of the roads, I'll probably be all right. The company's asking me for an estimated time of arrival, and I'm like, man, it would just be a complete guess if I told y'all an ETA in this weather. I don't have a clue what's going to happen, but it looks like I'm going to make it on time, so they're just wanting to try to hopefully bump it up earlier, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, market's looking red again this morning. The future's looking red. Everything in my list almost, except for just a couple of things, are red in the pre-market. So we could have another day today. Could have another pullback today. Now, I had taken $500 out of the Roth IRA just to have an extra cushion for home time. I didn't end up needing it, and I went ahead and I put it back this morning to build up a little more so I could go shopping today, right? That puts me up to about $750 that I've got that I could put into something if there's a big pullback today. But I'm finding that it's like the way I understood it to work, and the way it worked for me the first time, is that you can pull money out as long as you're not pulling out gains, and then you have like 60 or 90 days to put it back in there, okay? Well, it's showing now that I've put $1,500 in there for this year when I've only put $1,000 in there. So I may have to call them today and see what the deal is. I did a little bit of further research, and it appears as if you may only be able to do that once in a 12-month period, which means that it may not allow me to put it back in there without showing it as another $500. So that could end up screwing me on my deposits this year to the tune of a $500 deposit. I could potentially only be able to put $5,500 in there instead of $6,000, which kind of works against my goals for the year, but at the same time, it's not a huge deal. I'll find out today, and once I find out, I'll let you guys know. Because in the previous videos where I've talked about a Roth IRA, I said that you can withdraw your original contributions, and as long as you have them back in there within 90 days, it won't count against you, but that could potentially be wrong. So I just wanted to point that out, and I'll update you as I find out. I'm watching some stuff, I've got my watch list up and I'm paying attention to it to see maybe I could find another deal today on something cheap. I've only got $700 and something, so it'd have to be a fairly cheap stock for it to be worth buying. These pullbacks, I wish I would have had more cash. I'm kind of wishing I wouldn't have bought that Tesla. If I would have waited, I could have got in lower, or I could have bought a lot of other stuff on these down days. It was a kind of an impulse buy when I bought it. I'm still going to be fine with it. It's not that I'm like looking and saying, I wish I would have done this and I wish I would have done that, because hindsight's 2020, like I talked about in that other video. But it is kind of hard to be Spock when this kind of situation happens and stuff went down, and I was like, man, if I would have had that $6,000 I dumped into Tesla or whatever it was, $4,000, whatever it was, man, I could have really picked up some deals yesterday and today, but, you know, it is what it is. The accounts at now that I put the $500 back in, we're at about $11,100. So, you know, hovering around the same that it's been, and that's with a bunch of stuff down. So, yeah, we're going to get back up toward 12,000 pretty quick, I imagine. Get a drink of my coffee here. One of these days, maybe I'll give you guys a tour of the truck, show you all my accoutrements that I have in the truck. And when I was on home time, I switched out my bedding. You know, man, guys, for a truck driver, like, I have back problems and hip problems and, you know, stuff from driving these trucks and bouncing up and down and working the clutch for years. And so, man, I spend a lot of time and money to make sure that my sleeping situation's badass. And I just switched out my whole system. I had a memory foam topper on the mattress, and you know, I just got me a brand new 4-inch gel memory foam topper while I was on home time. It was there waiting for me. You know, new sheets, man, I got these badass adjustable pillows that I bought that are fantastic. I just got the whole setup. You know, I got my George Foreman grill and microwave and refrigerator, and I cook it up in the truck. I make my own coffee in the truck, a lot of stuff to save money so I can dump it in the stock market, guys. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't put money in the stock market, you got one of two problems. You either got an income problem or you got an expense problem. In other words, either you don't make enough or you spend too much. And a lot of people spend too much. And that's one advantage that I've always been a cheap motherfucker, guys. You know, and I've structured my life in such a way that I can just dump money into the stock market as I get it. You know, I make about $1,000 a week. You know what I mean? I don't make a whole lot of money. Some weeks it's better. But with this dedicated thing, I'm pretty much guaranteed to make $1,000 a week now. So there are no more like $800 weeks, except for when I take time off. So that allows me, because I have no bills, okay? I have cell phone bill, which I have a cell phone and a tablet, and I have the maximum amount of data that I can get, maximum amount of hotspot, all that stuff. So that's about $175 a month. And then I have my, it's actually a little less than that. And then I have, it's like $130 a month. And then I have my insurance on my pickup truck. That's about $75 a month. And guys, that's all the bills I have. Like, I have no house payment, no electric bill, nothing. Like, I've got a couple of other small things like Spotify, and I pay for my son's SoundCloud, his like pro SoundCloud or whatever. He's a musician. And you know, a couple other little small things, but you know, my bills are like $200 a month, guys. So yeah, I mean, I'm able to just dump as much money as I physically can into the stock market, and I save money by making my own coffee in the truck, by making my own food in the truck. Not all the time, you know, the refrigerator's real small. I can't carry enough for 6 weeks, but for the most part, I'm stacking money out here. That's been the plan ever since I came back on the road, was just to stack money. And initially, I was just stacking it, and I bought my pickup truck in cash from a buddy of mine. And I've spent a lot of money on stuff for my son and stuff like that. But then when I started doing this stock market stuff that I've started and working on my retirement, man, I'm just dumping it, guys. I'm dumping it. And you know, it's not going to be very long before I get maxed out on this Roth IRA, and then I'm just going to start dumping into the long-term account. It's coming pretty quick. I know we're not talking about a bunch of individual stocks and stuff like that on this video. You know, the market's red. I don't want to push y'all into anything. And, you know, let's just be straight, okay? How about some real talk? There's a lot of these YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to, okay? And these guys are pumping out 100 stocks a month. You know what I mean? They're throwing just stock after stock after stock at you. You know what I mean? And I don't know if... I tend to think it's just a way for them to say, hey, you know, see, these 5 stocks I told you about are up 180%, 200%. I'm like, yeah, what about the other 80 you threw out last month? You know what I mean? Like, I like these channels, and I do like the ones that throw out a lot of stocks because it gives me the opportunity to look at a bunch of stocks, and it's entertaining. But I'm not going to pump stocks down your throat like that, okay? The stocks that I talk about are stocks that I believe in, stocks that I'm invested in or would like to invest in, and I'm not going to shove a bunch of junk down your throat, you know, just so I can appear to have a really good track record, all right? My portfolio earnings speak for themselves. Yeah, I'm not showing you screenshots and stuff like that, but I've literally put $7,000 into the Roth IRA, and I'm over $11,000. That's a pretty goddamn good return, guys, and I don't care what nobody says. And I've done that without trading 100 stocks. You know, I have... what do I have in there right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stocks. And that's... I don't really go beyond that. And a lot of times I'll trade the same stocks multiple times. Because when you find a stock that moves the way you like it, and that's volatile, and that gets swings and does the things you want it to do, why do you need 100 stocks, guys? You know what I mean? So I will make a video soon, and I'll talk about the stocks that I like and the stocks that I play, and you know, maybe I'll go through my watch list and show you guys the stocks that I watch all the time. And I do add and remove stocks from that watch list, but not a whole lot. Like, I have to really find a stock that I like to put it in the watch list, and then once I put it in the watch list, I typically let it set in there for quite some time and pay attention to it, because I like to see how the stock behaves for a while before I invest in it, unless it's just some hype stock that I want to jump in and get out of quick, you know, like ZOM. I have been aware of that stock for a long time. SENS, I've had that in a watch list for a little while, but these are both like hype plays and not things that I believe in long term, and probably not things that I will play multiple times. You know, I will probably get in them, wait for a little bit of a run up, get some profits out of it, and then just stop watching it until something else happens. You know, I'll leave it in the watch list for a while. If it doesn't do anything, I'll take it back out. But yeah, you know, just a little bit of real talk about some of these other channels, and you know how they just pumping stocks down your throats, guys. They're just pumping them out, you know, with and some of them that I see, like one of them did a video on Hyliion the other day, and it just made me lose respect for all of the other videos that he's done, because the information was just so incorrect. It was like he was talking about how it was a hydrogen, and you know, just all this stuff that I was like, dude, I mean, you couldn't do at least like 30 minutes of research before you made a video about it? Come on, man. Like, and it made me lose respect for all this other stuff. Luckily, and you know, like I try to foster with you guys, and the other channels say they do, but then they spoon feed you all this information that may or may not be correct. I do my own research. So when I see a stock that these guys are talking about, I go and I look and I watch a bunch of other videos that I can find on it, and I look at their Yahoo Finance and look at them on Google, and I do my own research. And you guys, it's very important that you're doing your own research on these stocks. When I'm talking about them, when anybody's talking about them, I'm not 100% right. You know, I brush over briefly on these stocks. I don't show you the charts. I don't go over the financials, because I want to encourage you to do your own research, and also because it's a pain in the ass, and I'm not trying to sit here and spoon feed you all the information, because I'm not your mama. All right, I want you to become a better investor by doing your own research and learning how to do that. There's too many people on YouTube and out here who just jump on whatever a YouTuber tells them to jump on, and I ain't trying to, I'm not trying to facilitate that. So let me get off here, finish my coffee and stuff so I can get on the road. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.